So this is it, the Porsche 718 Boxster. And to address the rather sizable elephant, which is currently occupying a large part of the room, no, it no longer has a flat six engine. Instead, we have a smaller 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. Now, I'm sure what most of you are thinking is, does it still sound any good? Well, here you go, judge for yourself. So at low revs it sort of sounds like a depressed Subaru Impreza, and at high revs, actually quite zingy really. I have to be honest, it does sound better than I was expecting, but does it sound as good as the old flat six? Well, of course it doesn't, because a turbocharged 4-pot, even if it's a funky flat 4 like this one, it's never going to sound as good. And I'm not a fan of the way they've sort of tacked this 718 onto the name. It's to try and tenuously link it to the old 718 race car from the 1950s and 60s, but I don't see the point, and I think everyone's just going to end up calling it Boxster. But as far as open top sports cars go, it's still pretty hard to beat. Let me tell you why. Now, this is something you got on the old Boxster, it's this roof, but it's worth looking at because I am told you can put it down at 40 miles an hour and nothing terrible will happen. So let's just test it out. Right, doing about 40 miles an hour now, and please don't rip off, please don't rip off, please don't rip off. Look at that! That is the Arnold Schwarzenegger of roofs. Oh, it's actually quite well. Put it back up, put it back up, put it back up. And we are dry. There we go.
Porsche has festooned the 718 with awesome parts from the rest of its range. We have bigger 4-piston brakes at the front from the 911 Carrera, a rear axle that shares much in common with the Cayman GT4, sharper steering from the 911 Turbo, and in the 718 Boxster S, turbocharger tech from the 911 Turbo. Speaking of which,
this is the turbocharger wheel, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And here you have the vents around, VTG vents. And when you close it, so the speed you have here, a very high speed of the exhaust gas. And you hit it not here, you hit it here. And when you hit it here, your lever
Yeah.
is large.
so under low revs, the vanes close in and up the air pressure for a quick spool up time, and at high revs, they open up to allow more air through and give a higher boost. That way, it can act like both a big turbocharger and a small turbocharger. Clever, no?
What the good Lord Porsche taketh away in displacement and cylinders, the good Lord Porsche giveth in the form of more power and more torque. In this 2.5 litre S model, we've got 35 brake horsepower boost and 37 more pound-foot torque to play with. That brings the totals to 345 brake horsepower and 310 pound-foot of torque in a Boxster. So if you spec the PDK automatic gearbox and the Sport Chrono pack, which also comes with this rather funky little clock cum stopwatch here, you'll be able to do 0 to 62 miles an hour in 4.2 seconds, which is actually faster than the Cayman GT4 that we love so much.
The impressive acceleration figures are only part of the story. For the other part, we have to look to the Nürburgring. And I know those willy-waving ring lap times can be a little tiresome, but you can't help but be impressed by just how quick the S version of the 718 is around the green hell. In fact, its 7-minute 42-second lap is not only 16 seconds quicker than the old car, it's also faster than previous lap times set by BMW M4, a Ferrari 599, and even the old V10 Audi R8.
In the old NA Boxster, all the power and all the torque were right at the top end, but here we've got peak torque at about 2000 RPM, and it just means there's a lot more clout in the mid-range. Got a really sharp turn in, amazing balance throughout the bend, and then on the exit, really quite good grip, even when the conditions are getting a bit dodgy as they are now. A lot of rear own traction in this. Now, this isn't something Boxster specific, but I had to show you this. These are the cup holders. There we go. 1, 2, and they even adjust for diameter, so however big your Mocha Frappuccino is, you can get it fitting nice and snug. Now why doesn't everyone do their cup holders like that instead of having like those rubbish things down there? So much better. Now the Boxster has never been an ugly car, but I think with this one, this is the first I've looked at and thought, it's a really attractive car actually. It kind of looks lower, it looks wider, it looks meaner, and if you come around to the back, it's all sort of squinty and angry. It looks a bit like that Inception movie with Leonardo DiCaprio going. Of course, I'm under strict orders that I have to do the signature Alex Kirsten exhaust fisting test, and oh dear, maybe he's just got really small hands. Surprising how few manufacturers can do proper sorted gear changes these days. There's a Mazda MX-5, a Honda Civic Type R, and oh well, every Porsche going actually, including this Boxster.
For the 718, the manual has been modified to take more torque, is lighter and has a new one-plate clutch. Porsche's also added a new dual-mass flywheel with a centrifugal pendulum to make the shifts sweeter than ever. Think about that next time you're tempted to option the Porsche Doppelkupplungsgetriebe automatic gearbox. To sum up then, it's better than ever to drive, it's packed full of amazing tech, and has a pair of kick-ass cup holders. Oh, and it's better to drive than all of its rivals, including the shouty and much more expensive Jaguar F-Type.
I'm not going to pretend that losing the 6-pot in this isn't a shame, because it is a shame, but the Boxster makes up for it in every single other area. Now finding a nice twisty road and driving down it jolly fast is what you want to do in an open-top sports car. You're not really going to do any better than this.
Make sure you don't forget to download the Car Throttle Android app for more videos, features and general awesomeness.
You always need your hand on the gear stick.
What?
Your left hand hasn't come off the gear stick this whole journey.
Well, I'm not racing. I'm not racing. If I was racing, then I'd be like that. Bang! Bang!